A very good evening to you, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Q8 Pilot channel. It seems as if I haven't streamed forever, and for good reason. I have been very busy with my daughter getting her set up for college, so we've been, running around for her paperwork and things like that. But finally, I am here with you guys, and it is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours, actually 2100 hours local time, and it is 1800 Zulu. Today, a bit of a change in time because I had workers at the house, so I kind of had to be with them. And Explain is looking great, but for some reason, it looks like, the stream seems to be washed out. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this. I'm experiencing different colors on my iPad. Just if you guys can confirm whether you are seeing the vibrant colors of Explain or you're kind of getting a washed out image like I am on my iPad. Very good evening to you, Flyby and Rand Cooley. Welcome. Glad to have you guys here. And 7722 Havoc. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here with me this evening. And today we're going to be taking a look at the no colors are washed out. Oh, okay, great. I'm glad that things are working just fine. It's a bit washed out. Yeah, that's what's maybe Rand has got a an HDR monitor. Like, it's grayed out. Yeah, colors are washed out. Q8. Yeah. I think this is an issue from my encoder. I've had several issues with my PC, and I was troubleshooting a lot of things, and this is what has happened. In the end, it looks like I haven't tested this properly, I suppose. So yeah, things are definitely washed out a little bit here. So, but I hope that it won't look too bad. So today we're going to be flying the 777 based on popular demand, and I'm going to show you step by step how you set up SimBrief integration. It turns out that it's not as straightforward as I thought. It's simple enough, but I think it takes a little bit of setting up. A couple of things I noticed as well. Let's hop into the cockpit here. Beautiful cockpit, really, on the 777. A couple of things I noticed as well is when you start the battery and you turn on the external power, it seems to stutter a little bit, and this is something related to the aircraft, I think. So it needs maybe a little bit of optimization, but nothing too serious. We'll see. I'll try to figure out after the stream why we're getting those washed out colors, and hopefully we can get this resolved. HDR missing. Yeah, it could be that HDR is missing. I think it's turned on in my HDR. So HDR settings, let's just double check and see. HDR is definitely on. And then HDR are supported, auto HDR on. Yeah, it's definitely something to do with HDR. So maybe next time we'll turn it off for the streams. I'll figure something out, but you guys please bear with me for the stream. So the first thing we're going to do, folks, is in order to set up the integration with SimBrief, the first thing you need to do is you need to come here to the electronic flight bag, and then we need to go to external services. And the first thing you need to set up is Navigraph services. So first, you want to make sure that you have your SimBrief username here, and then we're going to click on Get SimBrief Data, and that should process the information. We are Qatari 1082. This is a real-world flight service from Doha or Hamad International to Kuwait International, our flight today. And the next thing you need to do is you need to go to the ACARS CPDLC services, and you need to make sure that you either have your Hoppy credentials here, or if you have, say, intentions. So in order for the SimBrief integration to work, for some reason, you have to have both. You have to have SimBrief and you have to have your Hoppy server details. Their call sign is anything, and the login code is something that Hoppy will provide to you. So yeah, it looks like the HDR is going to be a problem in this stream. I do apologize for that, guys. But yeah, I need to sort this out later on and see why we are getting this. I could, by the way, turn off X-Plane and start it again if it's a problem for you guys, and it will automatically detect it, and we can fly in with HDR if that's what you guys want me to do. Are we popping on VATSIM? Not today, no. So this is the only thing we need to do here. So while we're at it, we're going to go to menu, and then we're going to go to airplane. We're going to go to weight and balance. We're going to click here and to fill from SimBrief. It's your streaming software. Yeah, it is definitely my streaming software. So I need to probably some configuration is not right. So I'll try to figure out that later. So next, we're going to go to the CG summary. We're going to click on Optimize CG. And from there, we're going to go to back. And then we're going to go to loading page. And we're going to click on simultaneous load. And that is going to bring the, let's check actually one more time, back CG summary. There we go. That's the CG summary. Yeah, everything is good here. So we are good. And now we'll be able to use the SimBrief integration with the 777. So these are the only two things you need to do. So let's hop over to the overhead panel here, and we're going to go to the battery switch. Battery switch is on, and I wish this HDR issue wasn't on today, because we're using Bayes Light Mod version 2, and it looks fantastic. So we're going to start here with the secondary external power and the primary external power. And now there's that little stutter that happens once the aircraft is initialized. Then, it works fine. But just the initial stage where you turn on the external power, it seems to stutter a little bit and then goes away. Okay, so we're going to turn these guys on. We're going to come here, turn on the ADIRs to on. And then we're going to move here and arm the emergency lights. Ground proximity override. Everything here is good. Service path interphone is on. And we're going to turn on the window heat. We're going to turn on the hydraulics. And we're going to leave the switches here on auto. No electronics and passenger signs on auto. We are going to come here and test the APU fire test. And that checks okay. And next we're going to move here and let's see, packs, trims, recirc fans. Let's put the flight deck temp on auto, and we're going to turn on, we're going to put the bleed air and all these switches here on auto. And we're going to turn on the left forward fuel pump for the APU a little later on. We're going to put the anti-ice on auto, and we're going to turn on the nav lights. Perfect. So all is good here, and now we can come and set up the rest of the aircraft. We're going to make sure that the oxygen is tested 100%. Perfect. And then we're going to put the load sheet right over there. And click here once. There we go. And we have it here. Okay. Lighting looks good. I think, Rand, maybe it's your monitor. So definitely something is off on the colors there. Looks a bit washed out for sure. So we'll try to fix that in the next stream, hopefully. Okay, so let's come. Maybe not. You're buffering. Yeah, that's what I thought happened. But we're back to excellent now, so that's good. Okay, maybe just a glitch, hopefully. Okay, so our radios are turned on. Everything's good here. So let's bring up our FMC. Now the fun part here when we load the flight plan. So we're going to go to FMC, and we're going to go to the position in it. We are currently at Oscar Tango Hotel or Hamad International. We're going to select the current GPS position, insert it. We're going to go to the route, and now you can see that we have route request, which is activated. So we can actually just type in here, or you can just go for immediately route request. So we're just going to click here, and we're going to request our route for the flight today. And we wait for the information to come back and load it into the FMC. While this is all happening, let's come here to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on the APU gen, and we're going to start the APU. And it says the request is sent. Let's see if we can establish communication with the ground crew.
This is the captain. How do you hear?
Good day. Ready over here.
Okay, perfect. So these guys are good. And let's also call the ground crew. So cabin in it, we're going to go to ground crew and call the ground crew. Why is this still... All right, let me try here requesting. Okay. All right, there we go. It has finally come. So we're going to say load.
Good day. Hope
and
you are all
now you
doing
can see
well
that we have actually the entire flight plan loaded and have flight number uplink, and now we can activate it. So if I click here on activate and execute, now we'll have the entire flight plan. You can see that we have the departure runway, and we have also the flight number, which is Qatari 1082. Okay, so all is good here, and next we're going to go to perf int. Now you can see that we also have all the information already ready from SimBrief, so we can click on accept. And now we also have the wind data, but let's go first to takeoff performance. We're going to derate our takeoff, and we're going to select flaps 5 for departure today. We need to clear that. All right, so flaps 5 for departure. And we are going to set our speeds. V2 is 160, and we need the CG value, which is right here. So it's 33.2. And we entered that here, and we have a trim of 3.25. Perfect. So everything is set up here. The only thing you need to do is the arrival airport. So if you go to the departure, you'll see that you already have... actually, the runway isn't selected, but it looks like the runway, actually, all of this is incorrect. So let's change this. So it's the Tulu. Let's see here. It's the Tulu 3 Echo. Tulu 3 Echo. So that's the Tulu 3 Echo. And it would be 34 right. And then we're going to say execute that. We go to the legs page. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we're going to go to the arrivals here. And we are going to... are you guys okay now? Is everything okay as far as buffering is concerned? I hope so. Okay, so now we have to select the arrival into Kuwait. Now, this runway is currently not used. All air traffic is currently being given permission to land runway 34, which is the new runway. While these runways, I think, are, I think they might have been damaged from the recent events. But I've selected 33 left, so I forced it to this one because the scenery at Kuwait today in X-Plane only has the runway. It does not have any of the buildings or the taxiways. So if we land at 34, we're going to have to taxi on the ground, on the where an area where there's really no scenery. So it's not going to be very good. So we're going to go back to the arrival here, and we're going to select the Det 1 Hotel, which is this one here, and it's the ILS 33 left. There we go. And we can take a quick look here at the approach at 33 left. There's 33 left. And let's take a quick look here. So top toe is pedal. Actually, we're going to select pedal as our transition. There we go, and execute that. Perfect. Now we're going to go to the route. Let's go to the legs page real quick and check to see. All right, so we don't have any discontinuities. We can go to the routes page and load the weather data. So now we do have the weather in some of these here. If we click here, yeah, you have all the winds there at those altitudes. Perfect. And then from ALT, yeah, we need to go to, let me clear that, clear that. Okay, so let me just go very quickly to init perf, just make sure everything's okay here. Everything's good, and everything is good here. Perfect. So we're going to come here now and set this to 160, which is V2. We're going to turn on the flight directors and set the altitude to 28,000 feet. Hey Q8, do you recommend the Tolos A321? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's an incredible aircraft, especially if you get the sound pack with it as well, the COSP sound pack. Ooh. Just really an amazing aircraft. Okay, so the CDU is completely programmed. The EPU is running. Auto brake to rejected takeoff. And let's cancel that. And now we can go for the, let's go for the checklist here. So we're going to click here on the checklist. Okay.
Oxygen, tested 100%.
Okay, so it's tested 100%.
Tested 100%.
Flight instruments.
All right, so we want the altimeter. So we're going to go to flights. We're going to select Doha. And then we're going to look at the weather here. And the altimeter is 998. So we're going to come here and set this to HPA and 998. 998. Set in. We have now alignment. And we're going to set 998 as well on this side here. 998. There we go. Perfect. All is good. All is good here. All is good there. And everything's good. Okay, so now we're going to come here and we're going to go to, first let's go to the cabin crew. And we're going to go to the purser.
All ears.
And we're going to go to the doors. We're going to go to the next page. And we're going to say close all doors.
I would like all doors to be closed now.
Definitely.
Okay, so now those guys are going to take care of the doors. We're going to head back over to the ground crew. And from the ground crew,
I help you?
Just so that we don't spend too much time there, we're going to come to airplane. And we're going to go to ground services. And we're just going to click on all of these.
Yes, sir.
Please disconnect the shocks. Right ground power. Primary GPU. Passenger gate.
Roger that.
Okay. So, yeah, it does, that little stuttering happens every now and then. Tolos versus Phoenix. Both are excellent. Visuals-wise, of course, the Phoenix wins. Simulation-wise, I think both are excellent. They're very, very well-developed aircraft. So, okay, so everything is set here. Let's set this here to VOR. Okay, and everything's good here. Everything's good here. And let's go to normal.
Before start checklist.
All right, so flight deck door.
Lock.
Set.
Doors and windows.
Check.
MCP.
Set.
Takeoff speeds.
Set.
CDU pre-flight. Completed.
Completed.
Trim.
Set.
Taxi and takeoff briefing. Completed.
Completed.
Beacon. On.
All right, so we want to turn on the beacon light.
On.
Checklist complete.
All right, we're done. It looks like there is a hatch open. So I'm going to come here to the ground crew. And I'm going to go to doors. And I'm going to say close.
Please close this hatch.
On it, sir.
Yeah, it says here the door was open, so it looks like it's closed now. Okay, perfect. So we are ready to go now. And we're going to turn on our fuel pumps. All right, fuel pumps are on. And we are pretty much now ready to go. Okay, perfect. So let's set this to the pilot view. And we are, you know, it's really bugging me, this washed out colors. What scenery mods do you recommend, and what mods do you recommend to make X-Plane look good? Well, I have made a complete video on that not too long ago. The top 20 freeware mods, and also I've made a video on the mods that will make X-Plane look realistic. I think they were in quick succession. So both of those videos are available on the channel, and you can take a look at them anytime. Okay, so let's turn on the cabin utility switches here, and I think we are now good to go. So we're going to call the pushback truck. Let's just take a quick look here and make sure that all the hatches are closed, which they are, and everything's looking good. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. So all is good, and we are ready to go. Trim air. All right. Let's take a quick look here, see what's going on. All right. So that's all right. There we go. Recirc fan is on, and okay. So we're good here. And let's go now and select from the menu airplane, and then we're going to go to ground service. No. Hang on. We're going to go to airplane and then pushback, and we're going to say start pushback.
You may start pushback.
You are free to set the brakes now.
Park brake set.
Okay, so here's our... All right, I just wanted to see. Okay, so we're good to go there. Okay, I think that's good. Let's switch the view. Now we can see the aircraft. Wow, that's a bit too fast. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see if that works.
Parking brake, please.
Brakes are released.
Pushing
All right.
back.
All right, there we go. And let's push back. Very, very cool. I think we should have pushed back the other way, but that's fine. Look at the details there, guys, on the nose gear. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Should I buy PMDG 777? You know, PMDG is a great aircraft. Definitely a good aircraft to have in your hangar. But I prefer the 777 by Flight Factor, to be completely honest. Okay, so we're good here. Let's bring the aircraft to a stop. And let's set the parking brake.
Brakes are set.
Okay.
Thanks. See
There we
you at
go.
the hand signals.
We'll take the tow truck away. All right. And let's see here.
Thank you.
Hold, please.
Okay. So he's going to do his thing. We're going to, in the meantime, start our engines. So we're going to come here and we're going to start the right engine first. Okay, we're going to say in the
We are
process.
done with the pushback.
Thank you. Where is the pin?
Clear, sir. Pin removed.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Wave off.
Okay, sir. Wave off.
All right, there we go. And we can now give it fuel here. Let's switch to the external view. Wow, listen to those engine sounds. Very nice engine sounds. I think we need some lights in the cockpit here. So let me add some panel lights. Ooh, sexy. Look at that. All right. Some panel, grill shield, overhead. And let's see here. There we go. Much better. All right, we have a nice cockpit now here. And all right, let's go ahead and start our second engine. There we go. I'm strongly considering purchasing this aircraft. TriStar, you will not regret your purchase. I will tell you this much. Right, LNAV,
LNAV
VNAV.
armed. VNAV speed armed.
Right, I think we can go ahead and introduce fuel. And one thing that I need to do is we need to set our trim to 3.25. So we're going to come to, yeah, 3.25 is what we want. There we go. That's 3.25. And let's go back to the checklist.
Pre-flight checklist.
Flight instruments.
No, that we've
Before
already
start,
done.
checklist, please. Before
That
taxi,
we've also-
checklist, please.
All right, so we'll leave that one here.
Recall.
Okay.
Check.
All right, so recall.
Checked.
Flight controls. Check.
Checked.
Ground equipment. Clear.
Cleared.
Checklist complete.
All right, there we go. We have a good start on both engines, folks. And we are ready to go. So let me see. Ah, there we go. That's better. Okay. And we can now turn off the APU switch off. And we can turn off the APU generator. After, we'll wait for it to cool down and then we'll turn it off. Everything else here is good. We can turn on our taxi lights on. And we are ready to go, ladies and gents. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. Look at that. Beautiful lights, beautiful everything on this aircraft, really. The sounds, the textures. As a matter of fact, in terms of textures, I feel that the Flight Factor 777 is better textured than PMDG, in all honesty. Okay, so we want 34 right, which is somewhere or on that side there. So we're going to make a right turn. And before we do so, let's just make sure everything's good here. All right, we can turn off the APU generator now. And let's see, trim air and packs. All right, let's see here. All right, there we go. We turn on the pack and that should take care of that. We don't need the gas per air, so everything here is good. All right, so all is good here and everything is ready for our departure. Let's set our flaps to flaps 5. All right, there we go, flaps 5. And of course, we have got to listen to the flaps in motion. Ooh, listen to that. Very, very nice indeed. This aircraft is one of the best airlines in Flight Simulator. I just love it. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is really a very, very well-developed aircraft, very well simulated, and extremely, extremely immersive. And you can go as deep or as brief as you like with this aircraft, which is something I really appreciate in the development of this aircraft. All right, folks, we are ready to go. let's set the power here, and let's head over to runway 34 right for departure. The 34 right, departure 34 right, yes. Okay, let's go back to the legs page. Yeah, we should have pushed back the other way, but that's fine. So we'll go from Charlie 3. All right. And we can go for the, we'll leave it now, we'll put the lights on, and then we'll go. I'm really bummed out about the HDR because, you know, because the lights are looking so good with the Bay Lights mod version 2. Again, those are based on Rashal's night mod, who's a very good friend of me personally and the channel. Hello there, the cargo guy. How are you doing? And Captain Ray, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. I hope you enjoy the show. Yeah, I'm not really sure what has changed. Maybe it's the color profile. I really don't know. But yeah, maybe I need to turn on HDR for the game itself. Light factor is fantastic, but the AA issues from X-Plane holds displaying back visually versus PMDG. Would love to see flight factor in MSFS. Taxi camera. I'm sure that it's got a taxi camera. Let me see. Where is the taxi camera? I've seen it somewhere. Let's see. Is it here somewhere? Maybe not. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe it doesn't have a taxi camera. I'm not really sure, guys. But I know the PMDG has the taxi camera, which I've never used. So, yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much that it doesn't have it. Could I ask how you get the proper static aircraft liveries, the aircraft for X-Plane? Your stream, I can see Qatar planes and the A380s. And yeah, so you can use live traffic. I have done a tutorial recently on the channel, a detailed tutorial on how to set it up, or you can use Traffic Global if you like. Both will give you the same results, but of course, live traffic will give you realistic and up to the minute traffic in your world here in X-Plane. So here are the lights. Wow, the lights are just looking fantastic. Right, here's 34 right. We're ready to go. And it's getting dark here in Doha. We will be arriving during nighttime into Kuwait. It is actually pretty dark right now in Kuwait. So, but I've changed the time a little bit so that we can enjoy a bit of the scenery maybe as we depart. Let me actually brighten things up here a little bit so we can enjoy it. And there's a taxi camera. Go to FO side MCP and look rightmost bottom.
3,
all right.
4, right.
Let's see. So there's a taxi camera here. We'll take a look now. Wow, X-Plane is looking fantastic. Too bad this HDR issue is causing these washed out colors. But
Altitude, 28,000 feet. Set.
the strobe lights, the lighting, everything is done to perfection on this flight factor aircrafts. Very, very nice aircrafts. By all accounts, it's just really one of the best. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We wanted to check the taxi cam. So on the FO side, okay. So what is this? There's a go to the FO side MCP and look for the rightmost, bottommost button on the screen options. There is taxi. Okay. Let's see. Not sure where I'm looking. Let's see here. Inbound EFB. I really am not sure. Is it here somewhere? Cam? Is it that one? Yeah, I think that's the one here. The cam, right? Yeah, loading. There you go. So you do have a taxi camera. Can we pop this out? We sure can. Yeah, so you definitely have the taxi cam. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. And we're going to go back to our, let's see here. We'll put terrain here. We'll put the weather on this side. And we're going to, let's see here. Gear checklist.
Pre-flight checklist, please.
No.
Flight before taxi checklist, please. Before takeoff checklist, please.
All right, there we go.
Checklist complete.
All right, the checklist is complete, and we are ready to go.
Auto throttle arm. Auto throttle arm.
Why is it not giving me the second one? There we go. Okay. Release
Thrust
and
reference.
toga.
VNAV speed arm. LNAV arm.
Wow, the engine sounds are just spectacular.
Auto throttle low.
Very, very nice. B1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
VNAV speed. Thrust reference.
Wow, this is just wow. It's amazing, isn't it? These are all default sounds, yes sir. Alright, let's not get carried away with our
Auto
views.
throttle and speed mode.
And we are going to engage
Autopilot
the
engaged.
autopilot. Speed check. Flaps 1. And like I always do, I forget the TCAS. There we go. Can start the clock as well. Speed check, flaps up. All right, we can now change the range. Things are looking fantastic in X-Plane. Oh, Daniel, thank you very much for coming in with a €5 super chat. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Daniel. Appreciate your support, my friend. Very, very kind of you, sir. All right, and here we are. Looks like there is a restriction here at 4,000. Oh, and Rand Cooley coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Rand. Really appreciate it, my friend. Very, very kind of you. And folks, if you've received a gifted membership from Rand, please be sure to say thank you. It's very, very kind of you, sir. I really, really appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. Thank you very much, Rand. I heard Tolus A350 is on the way. Yes, it is. Definitely. So, the reason I have been away when I told you guys maybe a couple of weeks or maybe 3 weeks ago that I will be more active on the channel is that I am actually juggling quite a bit
Heading to course.
at this point in time. One is let me set our heading. All right. So
Heading
the first thing
011,
is that I have started my own company. So I'm running my own information technology consulting firm here in Kuwait. I am the founder and the managing partner of the company. So I do have a couple of partners with me in the company, and that has been really taking a lot of my thinking, if you will. So haven't really had much time to think about anything else because we do have to make this business work, and we're constantly going behind our going after our leads and pitching our services to businesses here in Kuwait. And so by the time I am done and I come back home, I can tell you that I'm not as beat as I used to be because I make my own hours now. But once I come home for the past 2 months, no, maybe less, 6 weeks, are you guys experiencing buffering at your end? I hope it doesn't keep doing that. Now the connection is excellent.
VNAV speed. Thrust reference.
All right, so we are out of the 4,000 restriction. Flight buffer, yeah. Now I think it's okay now. I need to look at my encoder. So let me tell you what has happened. Thank you. Hey, Anthony, how are you doing, my friend? Yeah, we should be fine now. I think it's working fine now. So my PC was acting a little bit strange last couple of days. And when I went to the event viewer, there were some errors on loss of connectivity with the GPU. So I figured maybe the GPU is about to give up on me. So I checked all the wiring and everything seemed okay. And I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that maybe it was a less than ideal installation. So I haven't done a clean driver install in quite some time.
Heading to course.
And the recommendation based on the error that I was getting was to change it, to do a clean reinstall in safe mode. So that's what I've done. And since I've done that,
Heading
I've had
344.
things like not working properly, like colors not looking right, and I haven't had time to check why. So let me turn off our landing lights. And
Monitor lights.
that. Okay, so we're good there. Everything else is on auto, so we're good there. Good to see everyone on here, but I'm off to physical therapy. I'll watch the replay when I can. No worries at all, Starship 1944. Good to have you here, my friend. Thank you very much for the support and for being here this evening. And good luck with your physical therapy. I hope you feel better, my friend. Okay, so let me go here. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, so these are all the things that have been really taking up a lot of my time. And to add, could be the driver, Sam. I don't think it's the driver because what I see on the screen is beautiful X-plane. It's just the encoder is what the problem, I think, is where the problem. So I think maybe I, messed up with my encoder. So I'll show you. So this is Streamlabs OBS, which I use. And if you go to the settings, and I'm using like a different color format, which is the P10, because I'm using HDR. But I did not turn HDR on and then PQ. So I don't know if I need to change any of that in order to make it work properly. Yeah, everything here is fine, so we're not going to mess with that while we're streaming. But I suspect that the problem is... That's the problem again. I'm not really sure what is going on today with the connectivity. But it seems to be a recurring issue. Yeah, I'm getting the same here at my side. So it looks like it's dropping. Maybe the router needs a restart. So maybe that's something I'll do. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm going to change the time here a little bit. Maybe it will improve things for you guys. Another 10,000. If we look here outside. Yeah. Map enhancement isn't doing a very good job there with the textures, but yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a bummer when you get all these issues.
Monitor lights.
Why does it keep saying monitor lights? This is off, off, off. These are off. Ah, taxi lights was off. Okay, that's why. All right. So yeah, definitely I need to figure out why we are getting the, why my encoder is not showing HDR. Maybe because we didn't turn on HDR for the game and it is expecting HDR. That could be it. But then I have the thing that forces to SDR. So I really am not sure. All right, so top of the climb is at 28,000 feet. It's a short flight to Kuwait from Qatar. And we should actually begin our descent shortly after we reach top of climb. The Aviation Gamer, how are you doing, my friend? Oh, glad to have you here with us this evening. Right, so all is good here. Another maybe piece of news for you guys. I checked into, I thought that Into the Blue Simulations had stopped making content. And I went to his channel and I saw there a post saying that, he's been on a much needed break and that he's back. So I'm very glad that he's back and that he's creating content again, because Into the Blue, while he only does MSFS, his videos are really, really top notch. He's one of the best out there. He's a real world Airbus pilot, and so he provides a lot of incredible insight into all sorts of aircrafts, and he's very honest, very unbiased. So I really like his videos. Some of them tend to be a little bit too long for my liking, but definitely one of the best content creators out there. He deserves a lot more views, subs, and appreciation, I think, from the community. So that's one thing. Is X-Plane fully optimized now? Yes, it is fully optimized.
1,000 to go.
Why does your X-Plane look grayish? Yes, I am aware of that. It has to do with my encoder settings, it seems like. I have HDR turned on, and it looks like the encoder settings have changed when I did the last... maybe it's the codec. I don't know. I really don't know. I need to figure out. So if I go to the setting, it's something to do here. X-Plane, by the way, I can assure X-Plane is looking absolutely gorgeous on my end. Here, but it's the encoder that's doing this thing. If I go to stream, yeah, it's not going to show me that. If we go to video, it's not there. In advance, it's showing these colors. Why is it not showing me the... It's not showing me which encoder I'm using. Maybe I need to quit output. Oh, there we go. could be this NVIDIA NNEC H264 new. It could be that. And unfortunately now we can't change it. So I suspect that I need to change the encoder. I think that's what the issue is. So I'll check it, guys. Don't worry. I think it may have reset after I reinstalled my drivers. So I will definitely check that afterwards, and hopefully the next stream will look fine. To use Google Map in map enhancement, I found that Google Maps colors are not very accurate. For example, yes, I like to use Apple Maps. I think they're much more accurate, especially when flying in the UK. So we are at 28,000 feet, our final cruise altitude today for this flight. And we're going to go to, let's go to VNAV, and let's bring this up. So if we look here, the top of descent is 146 nautical miles to Kuwait. And everything is looking just fine here for our flight. We should arrive during nighttime, which should make for an interesting approach into Kuwait. Yeah, I think it's the encoder. That's what I think the issue is. I think I need to use NVEC without the H264 new, and then I think it would work fine. Yeah, I think the encoder has reset when I reinstalled the drivers, so maybe that's what the issue is. So, but I hope that you guys are enjoying the stream. Despite the grayish color today. All right, so are you a real live pilot? No, I'm not, sir. So, quick word as well on FS Monitor. So, I've really slowed down the development on FS Monitor for a couple of reasons. One, that I have been really busy. And two, I think that it already delivers what it needs to deliver. I think the information that it provides and all the features that I've built for members is quite sufficient for what the site does. I haven't really seen much more signups, but definitely the organic views are increasing. The site is definitely doing well for a new site. It's just still maybe not very well known, and you know, that it will take time for it to gain a little bit more traction. And yeah, I think we were getting very decent views, and people are not just, you know, going and bouncing off, but the statistics show that people are actually spending quite a bit of time, which is very encouraging on the site. So so that is going to be a project that I will develop a little bit
Heading to course.
slower than originally anticipated because of my other involvement in a lot of different things right now. So I really do not have a lot of time to work on FS Monitor, but I manage it almost daily. So I look at things. I sometimes look for news here and there, and if it's not published by any of the sources, then I actually publish it myself. So it's got that ability to do that. I also notice sometimes some data that's not very accurate, so it still needs some fine-tuning, but I think it's in a state where I'm very happy with it. And you know, I've received a lot of positive feedback about it. We do have one sponsor now, Flight Deck One. They are sponsoring FS Monitor, and I personally use it daily just to kind of keep myself, you know, abreast of the you know, the latest and greatest in the flight sim world. So, do you recommend the 777-300ER passenger for the 777. Both are fine. It really depends on what you like. Personally, I prefer the 300ER. I think it's a much nicer looking plane. But maybe you're one of the guys that like to fly cargo. It's cargo flights. Then the cargo one will probably be more suitable for you. Captain Panama is in the house, ladies and gents. A very warm welcome to you, my friend, from Panama. Real Captain from Panama, 737NG Max. Ooh. Does your specs have a setup for X-Plane 12? I have a 5070. Yeah, Captain Panama, you can always do exclamation specs. You'll get my exact setup that you can use. I have done a lot of settings videos as well to tell you how to set up your X-Plane for medium high-end machines. 5070 is a very good graphics card, so it should be sufficient to run X-Plane at very decent settings. Q8, earlier on you were talking about the business you are partnering in, then talking about pricing, talking about pitching in Kuwait, but then the buffering came and I did not hear the rest of your story. Oh. I actually, so basically, aside from, work, aside from this new business that I've started, I do have workers doing some renovations around the house, and I'm also preparing all the paperwork for my daughter to attend college. This is my third daughter. So she's 18 and she's going to be studying in the UK. So I'm doing all her paperwork and getting her visa set up while she enjoys her time with her friends. And that's what daddies do, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, I've been really torn apart into different pieces. Trying to juggle around too many things at the same time. So that is in short the story. So when did you say? So what did you say for the rest about your business? She's going to be attending Nottingham University. So what did you say for the rest of about your business? Well, our business is a boutique consultancy for information technology solutions, focusing primarily on the responsible and governed use of AI in organizations. So AI is a big thing, and I have spent considerable time, learning AI, and because of my background in the banking sector, I do have a lot of insight into what organizations need, what banks need, what investment companies need, and what are kind of the caveats when they are starting to adopt a very sort of undiscovered territory when it comes to artificial intelligence. So yeah, we're just starting. We actually had a couple of meetings this week so far. So I'm quite content with what I'm doing, guys. It is not easy at all, I tell you that much. So if you are considering opening your own business, think twice. It's not an easy thing, but it takes a lot of determination and it takes a lot of willpower, to make those endeavors work. So hopefully I'm one of the few luckiest people in the world that, gets a successful business story. Fingers crossed. Thanks for these amazing lives, Q8. What are your thoughts on the Moza Force feedback yoke joystick? I ordered the AB6 and still have doubts whether it was a good investment or not. Well, the AB6 is the yoke, right? That would be the yoke. So I have two pieces from Moza. My honest opinion of the Moza flight yoke, I will reserve my comments a little bit later on to tell you about the rudder pedals. But when it comes to the yoke, if you turn off force feedback completely, in fact, if you turn off the cockpit software completely, you will get a very, very decent yoke for flight sim, especially for X-Plane. It has the right friction level, very high resolution, by the way, so there isn't noise. You can verify this when you do the calibration when in X-Plane, or X-Plane I think is better than MSFS because it shows you the exact noise. When there is noise in in the joystick, it will definitely translate that. You'll be able to visually see it in the calibration screen. So in terms of functionality, I think it functions very well. So you've got 6 switches on the left, you've got 4 switches and a knob on the right, you've got the landing gear lever, and you've got the flap switch as well, which is very nice. The force feedback, in all honesty, okay, and I'm being very objective here, the force feedback is amazing, okay, but there's a caveat. When you are flying a general aviation aircraft, the feel, the force, the pressure that you feel, the vibrations that you feel are very different from, for example, Airbus or a Boeing or an MD-80. Even within general aviation aircraft, things do differ from a multi-engine to a single engine. Now, if you're not a real-world pilot, it will be very difficult for you to set it up so that you actually feel the real, as if you're in the real aircraft, okay? There are very few presets that you can use and import, but what I've done, I've actually taken one of the files, and this is something you can do. You can go to one of the... why is my Stream Elements, see, even Stream Elements is not working today. It's not giving you the roots. Just things are just not sure why. I need to figure out what's going on with a lot of different things, I think, after the stream. But those presets, what I've done in order to mimic something that's very close to the real thing is, for example, for the King Air, I wanted to feel, I felt that the settings, the Cessna 172 settings weren't really accurate because it's a multi-engine, and when you idle the speed, the vibration was a little bit too violent. So what I've done, I've taken one of the XML files. Those presets are actually nothing but XML files. And then I took it and I went to manos.im, which is, an artificial intelligence chatbot. And I told Manos, look, this file is for the Moza flight yoke, and it is currently configured for the 172. I want you to use your knowledge of how a multi-engine aircraft should feel like, and then I want you to give me a new file that I can use into the Moza flight yoke. So I want to import it there. And I've done that, and I've got a completely different feeling, and I really am liking it, but I cannot verify whether it is accurate or not. So in all honesty, I think it is a well constructed unit. I think it really does what it's supposed to do. For X-Plane, I think it's still, by the way, for X-Plane, it works a lot more than, it looks a lot better than MSFS, simply because X-Plane has a lot of the telemetry data being fed directly to the Moza yoke. And in terms of performance, it performs a lot better, so there is no lag when you're flying in X-Plane. Now, on MSFS, it's a slightly different story, because there is a lag that is noticeable when you're flying in MSFS. And the reason for this is that the telemetry data is actually fed through SimConnect. That's how the Moza Flight software connects to Microsoft Flight Sim. And everything that uses telemetry data, so anything that communicates like GSX or fly-by-wire or any program that sits outside and interacts with MSFS interacts with it through SimConnect, and that causes the bandwidth to be consumed very quickly, and therefore causing a delay in the response when you are turning, like climbing or descending, whenever you use the yoke. So that is something to kind of look for and note when you are flying in Microsoft Flight Sim with the Moza Flight Yoke. Now,
Heading to course.
that takes me to the rudder, but I think first we need to, 48 nautical miles to top of descent. I think the platform altitude in Kuwait is 2,000 feet. Ooh, 1,300. Really? Wow, that's very low, isn't it? I think that's very low. All right, well, we'll go to 2,000. So let me set this to 2,000. All right, 2,000 is set.
Flight level
And
020 set.
we're going to go to here. We're going to select the speed, flaps 30, and we're going to go with 144. All right, so that's also set. Perfect. And now we can just see if the aircraft descends as it should once we reach top of descent. So let me talk a little bit about the rudder pedals from Moza. And I have used so many rudder pedals, including, by the way, the SATIC rudder pedals. I've used Thrustmaster. I've used Redbird, which, in my view, until this very day, the Redbird Alloy RD1 rudder pedals were the most expensive I personally bought. But they are definitely the best that I've had, especially if you fly general aviation aircraft. Now, that said, I have 3 rudder pedals that I use today, actively using. The RD1 by Red Alloy, the Thrustmaster rudder pedals, and the Moza rudder pedals. Of the 3, if I take the RD1 out and I compare the Moza rudder pedals directly with the Thrustmaster rudder pedals, I find the Moza rudder pedals to be
Heading to course.
far more immersive, for the lack of a better term. I find them more immersive than the the Thrustmaster yoke, the rudder pedals. The Thrustmaster rudder pedals are great. They have a great feel, but they are highly unrealistic. The ones by Moza are quite amazing. Even the friction, the tension in when you push on the rudder pedals reminds me a lot of the Virtual Fly rudder pedals, which I've used, by the way, and they are excellent as well, but they're very, very pricey. So that is probably something that, that's why I'm not comparing it. It's a different league altogether when you're going with Virtual Fly. So the Virtual Fly can be compared, to be honest, completely honest and completely objective. I would compare the RD1 rudder pedals with the Virtual Fly rudder pedals, and by the way, they are very close in their built and what they actually offer you. They're both very pricey, but yeah, I think that those are in a different league altogether. But the Moza rudder pedals can be compared with the Thrustmaster rudder pedals, and I think they win this battle, both in terms of the build, the craftsmanship, and the actual delivery. That is, of course, my honest opinion based on, usage of these products for a very long time. Why not increase the speed manually? Now, how fast can the 777 fly? Well, we are at 0.714 Mach, 280 knots. I think that's fine for this flight. We are at 28,000 feet. And we are reaching top descent. So we're going to set the auto brake.
Heading to course.
And we're going to go to normal menu. Normal. We're going to go to descent checklist.
Checklist, please.
Recall. Check.
Checked.
Notes. Check.
Checked.
Auto brake.
Set.
Landing data.
Set.
Approach briefing. Completed.
Completed.
Checklist complete.
All right, and there is our descent checklist completed. We should begin the top of descent in about 8 nautical miles. I know for those of you who are experiencing the grade or washed out stream today, I know it doesn't look very good, but yeah, I promise you guys I'll get that fixed for our next stream. I'm almost positive that it's the encoder. Let me just take a quick look here. And no, I think that might actually be the right encoder. So I really am not sure. Streaming bit rates, yeah. It might be the, we'll check. It's fine, Sam. Yeah, I know, Rand, but I think, you know, you guys are here to enjoy a good show and good
VNAV
graphics.
path. Auto throttle on.
So, all right, so there we go. It looks like the aircraft's going to begin its descent now.
Auto throttle hold.
There we go. And hello there, Golden Aviation Reel. How are you doing, my friend? 777 can do 500. Why would you do 500 though? See, let me tell you something, Minimus. There's always a optimal speed for an altitude, okay? And you always want to set the aircraft based on its cost index to, you know, if you go 500, that would be, you know,
Heading to course.
I think, by the way, 500 is not, I don't think it can go to 500. I think you'll get an overspeed warning. But nonetheless, to the person asked how fast. Oh, okay. So the speed normally is optimized. The thrust settings are optimized for the best fuel economy. Sometimes they increase it a little bit more when they are late and they want to get, you know, for the next leg. So it will cause disruptions in the schedules. That's when they push it a little bit more, or but most of the time they prefer, you know, optimal thrust settings to save fuel and be on time as well. So there's always a you know, a balance sort of they strike between those two factors. So not sure your passengers will enjoy that. Yeah, for sure not. Yeah. Yes, this is the flight factor 777. Lul, if you go 500, it will increase fuel burn and the shareholders won't make any money. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, sometimes that happens when they taxi too long, or that, by the way, happens a lot in Heathrow. In Heathrow is notorious for, you know, delaying takeoffs. I remember in my last flight from Heathrow to Dubai, we stayed on the tarmac for about 45 minutes. And then my last Kuwait Airways flight from London Heathrow to Kuwait International, we stayed for an hour and a half on the tarmac, just waiting for, you know, for an aircraft. The problem at Heathrow, for example, or big airports, is they have slots. Each aircraft has to push back at a specific time frame and a time slot, because the taxiways there are very busy. It's one of the busiest airports in the world. If that slot is missed by even 5 minutes, then that's it. You know, it's gone. And you're going to have to wait for the next available slot. Sometimes it's the airline. Sometimes, you know, a passenger is, you know, sitting playing on his phone and he forgets, and they keep calling his name like 500 times. And then he walks into the plane like nothing happened. You know these guys? Oh, these guys just really piss me off. So you get things like that, but sometimes, and most of the time, by the way, it's just really very heavy traffic, and ATC, in order, of course, they will prioritize safety over schedule. So so that's normally what happens in that case. Yeah, sitting there when it's hot in the cabin, it's not fun. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hello there, Matthew. How are you? Or is it Matt's? Matt the Weed, is it? How are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. I've noticed, by the way, folks, that in the most recent streams that we have a lot less people showing up for the streams, and it's probably on me first for, you know, changing the schedule so many times and not really sticking to the, you know, to a
Heading to course.
fixed schedule, if you will. But I think if you guys have any comments, you know, if there is something I'm not doing well, you know, I'm all ears. In the end, I'm here to, you know, give you guys a good show and to entertain you for the most part. So I do like to share with the community, you know, what I'm doing, my project, and so on and so forth. But if that's something you don't like, then yeah, I can definitely change the format of the stream without a doubt. So Matthew Edge, you got it. Hey, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you, Matthew Ed. Yeah, thank you for being here, my friend. I really appreciate it. Kuwait, I have been watching for a while, and your content is top notch. I bought the Kodiak recently because of you. Oh, I'm very glad that the channel is helpful for you, my friend. That really makes my day. Flown to Krakow in real life today, and we had a hold for a dozen minutes or so due to an unidentified drone above the runway. It was cool chasing a 737 in front of us. I enjoyed watching your Delta Wing Sim CRJ. Oh, thank you very much for that. New to the stream, how was your day so far? Well, my day has been nothing short of, I would say, very eventful day, a very busy day. And I tell you guys, I am totally beat right now. But yeah, I almost rescheduled the stream today. But then I thought, come on, QA, can't keep doing this. So, all right. So we're almost now at our destination. We are approaching Kuwait International from the southeast, and the winds are calm, I believe, at Kuwait. Let's take a quick look here at the weather. We're going to go to flight, and we're going to select the weather. 33.8, temperature is 41. By the way, the temperature is 41 Celsius, and it is 10:19 p.m. in Kuwait, believe it or not. Yeah, it is very, very hot in the summer. Okay, let's go to check the altimeter is 909er. So let's click there, and let's set it to 909er. And we're going to do the same thing here on the first officer side. I know this year there's been a heat wave across Europe, and unfortunately many people, you know, lost their lives as a result. Now here in Kuwait, when we heard about this, we were shocked, you know, that, you know, at 40 Celsius, it's pronounced like Aid, is it Aid? Pronounced like Aid. All right, gotcha. So here in Kuwait, the temperature in August, in July and August, but mainly in August, reaches about 55 Celsius. That's very hot, by the way. 55 Celsius hot, and we're fine. Yeah, you know, it just doesn't really bother us at all. So, hang on one second. Let me check one thing here for you. So 55 Celsius is 131 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you who do not know Celsius degrees, 131 Fahrenheit is very, very hot. All right, so we are approaching 10,000 feet. I'm going to extend the speed brake to reduce our speed and make it a little faster. And we are almost there now, folks. The problem is humidity. Yeah. The part of the earth always hotter than the rest of the world. Yeah, Kuwait actually is probably the hottest spot on Earth. It's very, very hot here, guys. All right, so we're getting here down to 230. Right, perfect. We can bring this back. Actually, here we go. We can do number 3. We arm it. Okay, it's armed. We're good here. 230 knots. And let's go to 40 nautical miles here. So we're almost there. Now we're approaching 10,000 feet.
Heading to course.
And we need to keep, by the way, setting this to the right course, which I've been ignoring. There we go.
Heading 303. Set.
This is a really beautiful livery of Qatar Airways. Very, very nice. Global partner of Formula One. Very nice indeed. That's an immersion breaker. Get some text there. Looks like some missing tiles. Right, 10,000 feet. Landing lights
Monitor
on.
lights.
Runway turn off lights. We're looking good. Wow, I wish this, you know, this grayish thing, the HDR issue thing wasn't there, because this approach into Kuwait International at this time is just looking fantastic. All right, FMC message, what did we want? Drag required, okay. Let's do that. Reduce our speed a little bit. So people are very much unadjusted to it. Also, few people have AC in their homes. Yeah. So my family is in the UK right now, and they don't have an AC. So my mom and dad were in Canary Wharf, and they told me they were just, you know, they had a fan, and they didn't leave the house. They said there's been an advisory not to leave the house due to the heat wave. So they stayed home, but our skin is very used to this heat. So
Auto
airspeed
throttle
low.
in speed mode.
Okay. Right. There we go. So far, LNAV, VNAV are doing their thing properly. And we're not too far from the airport now.
Auto throttle idle. Auto throttle hold.
Okay. Delta Wing is updating their CRJ each quarter of this year. The 700 has the Q2 update, but the 900, 1000 aren't quite ready. Oh, maybe we'll take a look at the CRJ in an upcoming stream. Here where I live, we were forbidden from doing any kind of outside activities, mostly sports. Kind of, wow, really? Wow. We'll see here, we're very used to this heat, but yeah, we definitely cannot do any activities. So what you find in Kuwait, because of the extreme, you know, hot weather, you'll find people actually doing their daily sports routine, like walking, you know, things like that. They actually do it in malls, because our malls are quite large, and the Avenues Mall is one of the largest in the Middle East, if not the largest in the Middle East. So it's that's where people actually go to walk and you know, have a good time as well, but mainly to do their sports. So So yeah, all right, we are at 5,800 for 2,000 feet. Ladies and gents, we can see Kuwait International to our left as we approach from the south east side of the country. That area there at the front, that's Joan Al Kuwait. That's what it's called. That's the official name. It's a water. It's where all the industrial areas are located, and I think a lot of the sewage is actually dumped into this area. Okay, so here we are. We're going to set this to 20, and we're going to go to approach.
Glide slope on.
All right, so
Localizer
glide
on.
slope is on. Localizer is on. Perfect. And we're going to, since both are on, we're going to go
Auto throttle
to
in speed mode.
flaps 5.
Localizer engaged.
All right, localizer engaged. Perfect. And we're going to shoot for 33 left today, which is this runway here. Notice that this runway here wasn't there before. So at Kuwait International, we had 33 left, 33 right, and the opposite side is 15 left and right. And now this is the new runway, runway 34 at Kuwait International. And this is going to be serving the new Kuwait International Airport, which is in the making. Unfortunately, it's been put back now after the recent attacks on Kuwait. So it looks like the airport has sustained some damage, and that it's put the schedule a little bit behind for the opening, which was supposed to be the end of this year and the beginning of 2027, but that's probably now not a very realistic time frame. Okay, we are looking good here, 220 knots, and we have the runway in sight. The speed is 144. Okay. We have the runway in sight. Spectacular view, really, as we approach Kuwait International. To use any filter. Right now, I'm not using any filter, and I'm really bummed out by this, this grayish color, whatever is happening there. It's just really a bummer. But anyway, the view is beautiful here on my screen. All right, so there we go. 184. We're looking good.
Glide slope captured.
Glide slope
1,000 to
captured.
go.
1,000 to go. 1,000 feet. We will disconnect the autopilot, hand fly the aircraft, and land it. I can see Kuwait City right to our right here, and we can see the beautiful lights as well. There we go. Look at that, guys. Wow, X-Plane is looking absolutely fantastic. Very nice indeed. All right, we have the runway in sight, 2,300. Let's put this in meters. 600. Okay, so we're looking good here. We are on the glide slope and the localizer. All right, let's take it down to 144.
$144 knots. Select.
All right, let's select gear down. And we're going to go to flaps 15. Wow, look at that.
Autoland 3.
Speed check, flaps 20. Speed check, flaps 25. And flaps 30. All right, well, almost at 1,000 feet.
Autoland 3.
All right, 1,000. We're going to disconnect the auto throttle. And we're going to disconnect the autopilot. Perfect. My aircraft.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
500.
Flight slow.
400.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
300.
Flight slow.
Yeah, we
Flight
know.
slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
200.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Approaching minimums.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
That was a very hard landing. Reverse. And ladies and gents, welcome to Kuwait International Airport. Manual braking. And we've made it safely. The scenery looks really bad here at this airport in X-Plane. Okay, let's take a quick look at our replay. Siri's acting weird. Okay, here we go. Here's my favorite view there as we come into land. Unfortunately, there is no sound. Very nice indeed. You have got to love X-Plane, guys. Wow. That looked really, really nice. Right, we'll do it one more time in a different view. There we go. There is a tower view. Oh, that got blocked by this. That's okay. Very nice, though. Very, very nice. Okay, we'll do it one more time. And this time we'll do a wing view. All right, there we go. And let's go to... No, we'll go this way. All right. Very nice. Wow. I really love the flight factor. It's really, really great aircraft. Alright, we could go... Actually, let's just go here and park the aircraft somewhere.
Approaching.
You can see that the
5,
scenery doesn't
right.
look right here at Kuwait International. You can see all the trees on the tarmac, and this is not what the airport looks like, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Alright, so landing lights off. Let's start the APU. And strobe lights are also off. Runway turn off lights are off. Taxi lights are on. And yeah, we'll just pick any spot and bring the aircraft to a stop. Maybe we'll park it here by this British Airways aircraft. Yeah, this doesn't look right for sure. looks like this is the cargo terminal, but it's hard to figure out which one. The scenery just looks different. That's the main terminal over there. Yeah. So. All right. I think that's good enough. We'll just bring the aircraft to a stop here. And we'll set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. Let's retract the flaps. And we can do this. Very nice. I love watching the flaps retract. Very cool. Okay. So flaps are coming up. We can disarm the auto brake. And what else here? Okay, so we can kill the engines now, I suppose. Why is it that the flaps are not retracting? Oh, they did retract, finally. But it's still showing flaps, you know, not fully up. Wow, does it really take that long? Okay, well, do we have the APU gen is on? Okay, APU is available, and we can now build the engines. Beacon lights off, and that is it. Forgot the taxi light, so let's turn that off. And that is it, ladies and gents. We have made it safely here into Kuwait International. I hope that you guys have found this stream to be useful and insightful. I hope that the grayish color that we've had today didn't really deter you from, from being with us. I promise you that I will resolve this in the upcoming streams. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for being with me this evening. I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye for now.